Hello, everyone. Today is a little bit strange. We're doing the Zoom interviews with my good friend Justin, the senior sales manager for the Minto community. Thank you, Justin, for your valuable time to interview with me, and with honor to see you again on the Zoom.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. And yeah, we wish we could have done this in person and do something similar to we did last year with our access to another community. But we're looking forward, and soon we'll be past this and we can get together again.
100%. Yeah, I know you guys have an exciting launching going to be coming soon in Oakville, right? It's called North Oak. So it's a lot of interesting buyer, already calling me. We've done some of the marketing. It's phenomenal responding from my sides, right? So that's why today, we want to learn more about these projects, and that's the reason we are here today. First, I know we've been done an interview last year, right? So it's really good at responding and. Talking about, like, a lot of people already know Mintos. Minto has been in the market for over 60 years. For some of the audience may be new in the business, they may not know about Mintos. Can you talk a little bit about the background of the developer?
Sure, yeah. Minto we're actually closer to 70 years old than 65. Yeah, we're 67 years old now. It's a Canadian company, family owned. Ottawa location is where we started. It's a family of 4 brothers that started Minto Communities 67 years ago, and grew into something quite large in Ottawa. And back in the early 80s, they decided to grow from just the Ottawa region, and then they moved to the Toronto market, and they actually moved to Florida at the same time. And since then, Minto's been really known for downtown for a lot of high-rise communities like Prince Arthur, the Minto Midtown, some really successful like landmark type of buildings. But in Ottawa, we're known as a whole low-rise developer, and in Florida, we're a very big low-rise developer out there as well. So if you can believe it or not, Minto Communities GTA, which is the division that I'm in, we're the smallest of the 3 divisions in Minto. So Ottawa is the largest, and then followed quickly behind is Florida, which is going through a huge boom right now. And then there's Toronto, which we're trying to catch up to Ottawa, but right now we're 3rd in the pecking order for Minto.
Wow, that's amazing. So almost 70 years. I know I've been personally done a lot of projects for the Toronto market, the Toronto office, a lot of condominiums, and the low rise, of course, last year for the Union Village, and the Saints, and 123 Portland. So looking forward, it's a lot of projects coming in your pipeline. So talking about the Oakvilles, what is the reason behind, like, when you invest a lot of money buying the land, acquisition the land in Oakville? What's the vision you have with this city?
We acquired this piece roughly 7 years ago now, and we were working with a minority partner at the time that helped us actually get this large parcel together, and whom we've bought out since. But we identified this northern part of Oakville quite a while ago, and we saw the official growth plan, and we saw the plans that Oakville had to develop this north side of Dundas. And we were watching for a while, and we identified this piece, and it's actually matured quite a bit since our acquisition to where we are today. The condo market in Oakville was not what it is today, and I would say we were modeling more of a low-rise product to bring to Oakville, and that's what we did in our first phase and our second phase, where we sold about 500 townhomes. And then we started working towards the Trafalgar corridor, and we released our phase 3 a couple of years ago, and we were working back and forth with the city. Actually, the city was pushing us for density because that Trafalgar corridor, they have a lot of plans for transit and activating the Trafalgar corridor. They were actually pushing us to go higher, and we didn't think the Oakville market was there, so we actually tried to push to go as low rise as possible. But once we started putting the feelers out and starting to market phase 3, and we saw that there was a huge demand for condominium in Oakville, and we proceeded to sell about 500 condos in the next couple months following, and we've successfully sold out of our phase 3. And that's given us a lot of confidence in what we have in phase 4. And to be honest, phase 4, I'm considering a master plan community within a master plan community. And what I mean by that is phase 4 is not one building, it's not 2 buildings, it's 5 buildings. So phase 4 will consist of 5 towers, the first of which will be released, depending when you're watching this video, be released very, very soon. And we're going to come back with the second of those 2 towers later on this year as well. So we're projecting to release 2 towers of those 5 this year, and the next 2 towers early next year. So lots of development to come, and really, again, this is what I'm considering the first phase of North Oak and phase 4.
Yeah. So it's, always buying the real estate. When you're buying the real estate, I always buying the first phase or second phase. It's always that, gold mine is going to be definitely making the monies for sure as an investor. Of course, it's a huge master plan community, always bring the potentials. I think the resale values based on my research is 20% higher when you resell the master plan community units, 20% higher than the single standalone buildings. Plus, I think Dundas Trafalgar is kind of one of the best and newest location in Oakville. The school, the hospital, the highways, 407, 427, they're all there, right? So it's good communication, and it's not far. And Oakville basically is the #1 city, the rating the #1 city in Canada. So I think that's a big potential for all the big developers coming into the Oakville market.
Yeah, you're seeing, like, we see the plan, and we see what's coming, in the next 5, 10, 15 years, and what Oakville has planned for this corridor. Okay, we're not talking 6 line, we're not talking Bronte, like we're talking Trafalgar Road, and for Oakville, that's their spine for transit. So, if we want to talk a couple of years down the road, they're talking rapid bus transit lines that are going to connect North Oakville, and specifically Trafalgar and Dundas, to the south, to the GO train station, to get people to and from work in as quick of a way as possible. So, and then, yeah, the 407 is just to the north for those that take vehicles. 403, QEW, you're connected really to all the major highways right around us.
That's good. Transportation is very the key for the real estate investments, right? So we like to see that. And by the way, I know you're talking about the buildings, everything. It's really a little bit hard for showing on the Zoom. Do you have like a shared screen? Show us a site plan. Can give the audience something to share.
I was prepared for this call, so yes, I do, and hopefully you can see it on the screen there. This gives you a little bit of a better idea of what Oakvillage and North Oak really is giving us now, and to the south here, just off of this page, I could probably pull it up a little bit. There is Dundas Street to the south, and then to the west would be Trafalgar Road. So the first phases that Minto did, again, low-rise townhomes, were everything here. So we built, these are all 2- and 3-story townhomes. That is our phase 1, this light brown. Our phase 2 brought us to a small number of rear lane townhomes, 32 3-story rear lane towns. So again, those are all sold. Completion for these are later this year. And then we moved up to phase 3, which would consist of stacked townhomes in blue. This here was an 18-story high-rise, and then we had our second of the 2 buildings in phase 3, which was an 18-story high-rise there as well. Sorry, a 20-story high-rise. And now what we're focused on, and maybe I'll zoom in a touch, is where we're focused now is just south of Wheat Boom Drive. This is a naturalized water feature that cuts through, so there will never be any development here on this corner. What we're focused on now would be phase 4A, followed very quickly by phase 4B. So this north tower here is what we're going to be launching in, very, very soon.
Good. So they connected together, right? These two buildings, two towers.
Yes. So this is, and maybe let me just go down just a touch so you can see, the entirety of North Oak and the 5 buildings. So we're going to start north and build south. So these first 2 buildings, and then we actually have a new road cutting in from Trafalgar. So it'll be a right in, right out. And then to the south of that road, we'll have 2 more buildings. And then the standalone 5th tower would be here. So all these buildings would be serviced off of Wheat Boom. There'll be a new road that comes down here to service the 5 buildings here. So to your question, yes, something that we've done for phase 4, which is really taking us to the next level, is we've combined the 2 buildings. So instead of having 2 standalone buildings similar to what we did in phase 3, where they're completely separate, but there's a shared kind of driveway area, we've actually combined the 2 buildings. And what that does is, instead of having 2 separate amenity programs, one for each building, we've actually put the amenities in a 2-story amenity space that we're calling the neighborhood nest. So that'll be housed in a 2-story glass atrium in between the 2 buildings. So it really takes the amenity program really to another level, and provides a lot of opportunity for the homeowners and the residents to really stretch out and really take advantage of the space in between the buildings with such an amazing amenity program.
Oh, that's good. Talking about the amenities, what kind of amenities are you going to be offered to the residents? Like what kind of, things you're going to be offering?
Yeah, so amenities, one of the things would be concierge service. So when you come home, there will be a concierge right from Tower 1, right from the start. We're looking at probably an 18-hour concierge for homeowners, which will service all the peak times that a homeowner would need a concierge there. So we are committed to a real live person that will be behind the desk that will welcome you home. Within that amenity, within that podium, that neighborhood nest, we're calling it, we've done a few things a little bit different. And now with everyone right now working from home quite a bit, and we envision there'll be some of that even going forward, that people will need some spaces to work from home. We've created a whole section to be a Zoom area, so little individual Zoom pods, so you can get into and connect instantly. There's even bookable meeting spaces that you can connect to Zoom as well. We have 3 of those spaces, so pretty cool, and something again that we're thinking further ahead. And then we have a gym that I'm actually calling a gym. It is a full out gym where you can cancel your membership and actually work out at the building. So talking large selection of free weights and machines. We will have a yoga studio. We will have an aromatherapy room. We will have an infrared sauna room, just for people to relax a bit. One of the amenities that's not part of the building, that is amenity to the building, is on the east side of our building. You can see there's a large stormwater management pond. This is one pond that services the whole neighborhood, a couple thousand homes. So it's an oversized pond. It's almost like 3 ponds. Instead of building 3 ponds in the neighborhood, we actually combine them to create a larger filter, a larger pond, and it's called the Athabasca Pond. And this pond here, you can see it has a walking trail that goes through it. This walking trail actually connects. This is all done purposely. It connects to the north and it follows the channel. And there's a walking trail that goes all the way. And part of the negotiations with the city is that we had to keep this naturalized green space. So this is an original green space. We have not touched this. What we will do is cut out a walkway and a little path area for people to connect into this wood lot. And then the pieces to the north are going to continue that. So you are fully connected to like a trail system, and you're on Trafalgar Road, but on the east side you have this beautiful amenity here, right? So it's something that it's not in the building, but I would say 100% it is an amenity. And something that I should probably talk more when we get to 4B, but I'll slip it out now. We're looking at providing a rooftop amenity space on top of 4B, which residents for both towers would be able to use.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, and then we have the party room and those types of things as well, and some other cool things, but really we're pretty proud of the amenity program that we have in this building, and technology will be something that maybe we chat about in a couple minutes, but we have some pretty cool technology we're putting in here as well.
Yeah, I hear about the Minto smart home technologies, right? So it's the very cool technologies to convenience people's life.
Yeah, Minto Intelligence is what we've branded it, and we're committed to providing technology for everything that we saw going forward, whether it be high rise or low rise. And some of the cool things I think for phase 4 would be plasma filters for any common areas. Okay, so the air that's circulating in our common spaces are all going to be filtered. So plasma will actually filter it down to the coronavirus level, right? So keeping fresh, filtered air within the suites are big. And then something else that we're doing that I'm excited about is we've connected the technology. So your phone, nowadays, your phone is your key, it's your key fob, right? So that's kind of a normal thing now. We're trying to take it a step further. So just imagine you're coming home from a day at work, you come to your building, you drive to your underground garage, and the garage will actually scan your license plate and confirm that you are a resident, and then open the door and let you in. If you're not a resident, but you are a visitor, that's someone who lives in the building has approved to come by, they can actually on their app type in that license plate, so that when that license plate comes down that ramp, again, the computer knows that it's a visitor that's welcome to the building, and it opens the door. Where it starts getting cooler is you get out of your door or your car, you walk to the elevator lobby, and instead of pressing a key fob and then pulling a door open, you use your phone as the key fob, and we've motorized all the operating doors in the building. So all the amenity spaces, from elevator lobbies to gym doors to party rooms, will all have motorized doors. So now you get to that space, you tap your fob, the door opens for you. Then you get to the elevator. So you can actually, if you want, when you're still in your car, you can actually call your elevator. So you park, you press the button, you call your elevator, you let the elevator know that you're home. You walk to the lobby, you fob your phone to open that door, you get to the elevator bay, and the elevator is coming down for you. You get into the elevator, it knows where you want to go, it takes you to your floor, you don't have to touch a button. The only door you have to touch is your front door to your suite. You can get everywhere through the building without touching anything. Touchless everywhere.
We call that a COVID proof. It's really everything. That's
so,
very
yeah,
cool. I can't wait to see that.
It costs more money, but we think it's the way to go. But we think it's again, I'm not aware of any other building that's doing it. But again, when you buy in 4A, and then we end up putting that rooftop terrace on 4B, you can walk. You can go down to the ground floor of 4A, walk through the lobby, fob into the second building, and then get that elevator to take you right to the rooftop terrace just by fobbing through with your phone. You don't have to touch a thing in the building. So it's pretty cool.
That's really cool. This function is really cool. Yeah. So this kind of amenity, we never see that before. So I'm very exciting to see that when it actually finished. I'm gonna try it for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
definitely, you know, from what we did. Sorry, like I'm pretty excited about everything, and you know, I've been with Minto 10 years, and you know, things keep getting better, and we keep you know, evolving and kind of pushing those envelopes. But you know, maybe since we're talking technology, I'll say one more thing, which is probably the most important thing we're doing with this building, is with all of North Oak. So these 5 buildings, not just these 2, we're building a geothermal district energy plant underneath these buildings. So we are creating a geothermal system which will actually grow to service all 5 of these buildings. Which means, what that means for the residents is that all your heating and cooling needs are going to be captured and provided through the system that's located beneath the building, which means for heating and cooling, you're not connected to the utility provider, and you're not at the mercy of rising utility rates at the same way, because the actual building underneath, the mechanicals are actually generating the heating and cooling for the building. So that just means, again, a higher level of building mechanics, and what we're providing is again not your standard boiler and chiller systems, right? That take up a lot of electricity and have a lot of greenhouse gases. Like we're reducing with this. We're reducing our carbon footprint of these 5 buildings by 70%.
Wow.
So again, just green sustainability. You know, these buildings are not here for 20 years. Like we want these buildings to be here for the next 100 years. And these are the things that we're doing to, you know, to give it the best shot, you know, to stay advanced with all the things that are coming. So it's another big thing that we haven't even talked about yet. We haven't marketed yet. No one knows that we're doing it. We're not doing it, you know, to help sales. We're doing it because that's the way that Minto builds, and it's the way that we think. So
I know Minto is really good quality. I'm actually the Minto properties owners as well. Like I purchased a Minto property as well. So Minto is definitely good quality, and for the way the technology, the thoughts they put on that always advanced the other developers, most of developers. So it's a very good geothermal system. Basically for the residents, and saving a lot of money for the maintenance fee as well. So that's
absolutely.
Really cool.
Yeah, and you know, we're even some of the cool things that we're getting for phase 4, like the cool thing with Minto is too, like anything that we can provide to our purchasers in phase 3, we're gonna try to leverage, right? We have buying power, we have construction power. So as technologies evolve, like if we can leverage what we're doing to give our homeowners, even though they're sold, right? If we can give a better building to our residents, that's what we're going to do. So we're using a lot of stuff for phase 4 to, you know, to even make improvements to phase 3. So stay tuned to all our home buyers in phase 3. That you'll be very excited with the product that we're going to do there for you as well.
Yeah, I think you just sold me 1 unit. I want to buy one. That's for sure.
I'm buying one. I'm buying one.
I'm a purchaser, right?
Yeah.
So
now,
what I'm doing?
Yeah, this is something where you want to be in. Like I'm buying for my kids now, right? So this is a building that I'm going to want for the next 20 years to hold that unit. So yeah, I'm investing for a long term here in this building for sure.
Exactly. That is really cool buildings, and for all technology things make me want to buy one for sure, right? You know, talking about the buyer as a buyers. So how high the buildings, how many units, you know, we're going to be facing, and what's the range size? You know, can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So phase 4A is going to be the first building we're launching. That building will be 20 stories tall, and we're looking at about just under 210 suites total. And then our second tower, phase 4B, 16 stories, and right now we have it at about 170 suites. Both of these buildings are scheduled to be built together. So we will do one large shared underground garage. We're actually, you know, we're going to do the garage. So it'll actually eventually combine and service all 5 buildings. But right now the garage is going to be dedicated to the first 2 buildings, and then we're going to be building up at the same time. So although we're starting sales, you know, quicker on phase 4A, like 4B we'll start construction at the same time, and we're looking at construction start would be early next year, with occupancies into late 2023.
Late 2023. Okay, so it's about like 2 years to be finished. Almost 2.5 years to be finished.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, what's the size of the unit? Like you have 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom?
We do. The majority, we don't have threes. We do have a number of 2 and den, which the dens, we actually try to make dens that we find are useful. So we start with 1 beds. So our 1 bedrooms, we have a couple in the 460 range, but most of our product will start about 500 square feet. And the range goes, the 1 bed's between 500 to 600, the 1 and dens between 6 and high 600s, 6 to high 600s, and then we get into the 2 bed plans starting in the high 600s and up. And we've thoughtfully put these plans together. We know there's a lot of pressure right now from the investor community to really shrink the plans, and we've seen lots of launches recently where we're getting into almost downtown type of square footages, and we don't believe that Oakville is ready for that. We don't think we need to get to a 400 square foot 1 bed range or a 500 square foot 2 bed range. Like, we don't think the quality of life will be there, because again, we're not building to sell this in a weekend. We're building this for a long time, right? So we kind of try to eliminate that noise of trying to just sell fast and give people what they want. And we've seen a flight out of downtown right now because of the pandemic, and it's because a lot of people don't want to live in 400 square foot units, right? So we were cognizant of that when we were putting this building together, and we think we have very, very strong plans.
So Justin, thank you for sharing all the information. So I think I'm pretty exciting for that. So, for your opinions, when you're starting the sales, because a lot of people asking me, when it's coming to the market, they wanted to buy.
We are going to be starting the sales program towards the end of March. So we're literally, from the time that we're recording this, we're probably a week and a bit away from the start of our sales program. We will, be connecting with all of our top brokers, and someone like yourself, Mark, already have access to a lot of the marketing materials that we have. We're going to be providing you and our tight group with more of these assets towards the end of this week to really get you started. We'll start the program, and it won't be very long. Like, we're not looking for a 2, 3, 4 week kind of sales program. We're gonna have a presentation towards the end of this month, and worksheets will open right after that presentation, and they close only a couple days afterwards. So not going to give you, Mark, a lot of time and the registrants and our clients, but we are going to try to give as much information as we can with our broker friends, and allow homeowners to make a really smart decision and an educated decision. So we'll make sure that all the information is shared with the group, and we're only days away from that right now.
Perfect. So all you guys hear that, we're gonna get ready for that, and really appreciate your time, Justin. I know you are a very busy man and a lot of things gonna be doing. So really appreciate your time, and we're looking forward to see you in person soon.